Let's begin today's class. Ability Enhancement Compulsory Course on Environmental Studies, BEVAE 181. And we have students from both BCom and BA. Okay. So, so we have four different blocks, and block number one, an introduction to environment and environmental studies. Number two, natural resources. Block three, environmental issues and concerns. Number four, protecting our environment, policies and practices, and we have the glossary at the end. It's very clear to all of us that that Earth is the only non-planet in the solar system that supports life. Even though there are other planets also existing in the solar system, it is only in this year that we have life. We have been observing other planets, and it's very clear that there is no life existing anywhere apart from Earth. So Earth is the only non-planet in the solar system that supports life, and we do not know if life is existing anywhere else in the solar system. It may be, but we do not know. But as per our knowledge is concerned, we believe that it is only in the Earth that the life is there. Despite the vastness of Earth, indeed, Earth is very vast. Life exists only in a very thin layer of the Earth, and it is called a biosphere. So, despite the vastness of Earth, even though the Earth is so big, life is existing only in a very thin layer of the Earth, and it is called the biosphere. So, biosphere means is the zone of life on Earth. It includes all living organisms, plants, animals, microorganisms, and we can simply say the part of the Earth where life exists. So we can say the part of the Earth where life exists. So in simple terms, biosphere is land. Land is called the lithosphere. Water is called the hydrosphere. Air, atmosphere, where life is found. So all these combine together to form the biosphere. So land, which is called lithosphere, where we all exist, and water, we have the ocean, and so water. Then we have the air. So we have all the birds and all such things. So it all come together for the biosphere. For a long period of time, there has been a symbiotic relationship between human being and nature. So, to a certain extent, it is still existing at many places. So, for a long period of time, there has been a symbiotic relationship. So, there has been a mutual relationship between human beings and nature. We depended a lot upon the nature. Is still going on due to excessive human interference. So as time went by, in the like at the earlier time, we depended upon the nature a lot, but as the time went by, due to we started to utilize, or we started to use more and more of the natural resources due to excessive human interference and unsustainable practices. Millions of people's lives and livelihoods are at risk. So, without thinking enough, or without properly seeing the pros and cons, we often did so much things which caused you know which caused a lot of problems to the people all over the world. These days, like, wars are happening, and we know the catastrophic effects of a nuclear weapon or any other weapon being used. And so often what happens is we do not really think, or we are not so much concerned about the other people, or we are not so much concerned about the well-being of others, and we becomes more and more selfish. So all these create a lot of problem. So we interfere in the into the nature a lot, and we did a lot of unsustainable practices which all created lots of problems to the environment. Due to excessive human interference and unsustainable practices, millions of people's life and livelihoods are at risk. Therefore, there has been a growing need to create awareness among all the stakeholders. So therefore, there has been a growing need. So if we do not act now, it's going to be too late. Today people are destroying the forest, people are doing so much harmful thing, but if we go ahead and destroy one tree, it take too much, it take, like for destroying a tree or for cutting down a tree, it may be able, like we can cut the tree in 2 to 3 hours, but for the tree to be there or for the tree to just grow to that big, it may take hundreds of years. So how much we are getting delayed to act, that much the problem could get worse. So there has been a growing need to create awareness. So we have to act quickly and we have to create awareness. To a certain extent, many people are not aware that if they do such kind of things, it could create problems to the nature. There are people at the village, people are not much, there are people who have not gone to schools, so they do not know the ill effects of putting the plastics on the field. They could be doing the farming work, but they are not aware that if they put the plastic on the field, it could be a problem to the soil. They are not aware about that because they have not gone to the school. So what we have to do, that they really love the nature, they want proper cultivation and all such things. So if we create an awareness, like if we give training to their children and making them aware, they will go and tell the parents, okay, we are not supposed to do such and such things, and then they will be aware about such bad practices and they will stop throwing the plastics and all such things. So we have to create awareness among all the stakeholders means individuals or groups who are affected by or have an interest in environment issue. So who all are part of it? So we all are part of the environment, right? Okay. Keeping this in view, environmental studies is being introduced as a compulsory course for all the learners at undergraduate level. So environmental studies is a compulsory course. It's not an optional course. It's a compulsory course for all the graduate. Like now, BCom students are here and BA students are here. So we have only these two, but there could be other branches. There could be other degrees where this course should be compulsory. And this course has 4 blocks. Block 1, an introduction to environment and environmental studies. So in the first block, we will have an introduction to the environmental and on the first block, we will have an introduction to the environment and environmental studies. Today, human society is standing at a crossroad and searching for the better alternatives for a sustainable future Earth. So we are almost at a crossroad and we do not know which road to take. And we are searching for what? We are searching for better alternatives for sustainable future Earth. We are searching for a sustainable. So people are getting aware that if we continue to do such kind of things, it's going to be a big problem. If you look upon many metropolitan cities, there are not many trees there. If you look upon Bangalore, if you look upon Chennai, there are many problems happening. So once we destroy the nature, once we destroy our environment, that's going to give us a lot of trouble. So we are at a crossroad and we are trying to get some better alternatives to have a better Earth, to have a sustainable future Earth. That is why there is a necessity that every individual should have awareness and knowledge about its environmental resources. So we should be very much aware about our environmental resources. Okay, that is why there is a necessity that every individual should have we all should be aware and we should have enough knowledge about the environmental resources. Human environmental relationship and issues emerging out of human environmental relationship. So human environmental relationship and issues emerging out of human environment relationship. So we are connected with the nature, we are connected with the environment, or we are living in the environment. So how is it, affecting, what are the problems happening? This block has been made, sorry, this block has made an attempt to establish the importance of symbiotic relationship. What is symbiotic? Symbiotic means it refers to a close and long-term interaction between two different living organisms where they live together and at least one benefits. So this block has been made an attempt to establish the importance of symbiotic relationship. So we should have a good relationship with the nature and the need for sustainable development. So we cannot survive without development, right? Yeah, we invented the fire, or we discovered the fire, and it was not an invention, of course, it was a discovery. So we discovered the fire, and we are every day, think from the time when human beings were living a primitive life, and today where are we? We are developing, we are developing, and we cannot just go back, and we cannot say, okay, let's stop everything and let's go and live in the forest. That's not possible. So we have to live, or we now our lives are getting more and more developed. We things are all changing, but still, again, if we are careful enough, we can have sustainable developments. See, today, like these days we are having more electric motor vehicles. So maybe till 10 or 15 years back, we were having lots of petrol, or over the we are having like diesel and petrol vehicles, which has a lot of carbon emission, causing a lot of problems in the in the environment. But today, we are not, okay, we didn't say, okay, let's stop all the vehicles. No, we actually find a way that we actually could produce vehicles which could run by the electricity. So there is no carbon emission, there is not much problem. Same manner, we have to think about a sustainable development. We cannot say, okay, let's stop everything and let's go in the forest and live there, or let's live a primitive life. That doesn't work, right? So we have to find out a sustainable development. This block consists of 3 units. Unit 1 introduces concept of environment and the importance of environmental studies, nature and importance of environmental studies. Unit 2, it will discuss about the concept, features, types and functions of ecosystem. Unit 3 describes about major ecosystems on the earth. Block 2, you have the natural resources. This block discusses about natural resources that provide the base for human sustenance and development by providing ecosystem services. We will just go ahead and read it and go for the unit 1, because anyway we are going to study all these later. There has been substantial decline and degradation of natural resources over the years. So this block is going to discuss about natural resources that provide the base for human sustenance and development by providing ecosystem services. There has been substantial decline and degradation of natural resources over the years, as a result of which there has been a negative impact on ecosystem services. Therefore, there is a need for sustainable natural resource management. This block consists of 4 units. Unit 4 deals with land and water resources, while Unit 5 discusses about forest resources, biodiversity. Values and services are discussed in Unit 6, and energy resources were explained in Unit 7. In all these units, resources are discussed in terms of distribution, availability, utilization, causes of degradation, and need for methods of conservation. Block 3, environmental issues and concerns. This block consists of 4 units related to various environmental issues confronted by humans at different levels, local to global. Unit 8, titled Biodiversity, Threats and Concerns, focused on causes of biodiversity loss and measures for biodiversity conservation. Unit 9, Environmental Pollution and Hazards, discussed about the phenomenon of pollution in air, water, and soil, their sources and their effects. Apart from these, noise, radiations, and thermal pollution have also been discussed. Unit 10, titled Waste Management, discussed about the waste and various ways of waste disposal system which have a minimum harm to the environment. Unit 11, titled Global Environmental Issues, discussed the causes and effects of phenomena, namely global warming, acid rain, ozone depletion, and some of the measures taken to deal with these issues. Block 4, protecting our environment, policies and practices. This block, being the last block of the course, has attempted to address the policies, beliefs, and practices associated with the environment. This block consists of 3 units. Unit 12 deals with environmental legislation, whereas environmental ethics are discussed in Unit 14. Unit 13 covers issues related to human communities and development. Okay. Unit 1, an introduction to environment and environmental studies. So we are having an introduction for the block 1. So I'm describing these portions, and the reason for that is there could be, you could get a better understanding with which you will be able to, do well in your exam. Some of these concepts will really help you to do good in your exams. Earth is the only known planet in the solar system that supports life. So it's very clear to all of us, as per our knowledge is concerned, we believe that Earth is the only non-planet in the solar system that supports life. We have not found life anywhere apart from Earth. So we believe that Earth is the only planet in the solar system that supports life. There could be other planets where there could be life, or there may not be, but it's so vast, and we are only aware about the Earth, and we have a lot of limitations. Like we can see to we can see only to a certain extent, we can hear only to a certain extent. So we have a lot of limitations, but with lots of different technologies and advancements, we are able to track many things. But still, there are places, or the solar system is too huge, and we have so much to still to discover from the solar system. But we believe that it is in this year that we have it is only in this earth we have life. Despite the vastness of earth, life exists only in a very thin layer enveloping the earth called biosphere. So despite the vastness of earth, even though the earth is too vast, life is existing only in a very thin layer enveloping the earth called biosphere. So what is biosphere? So biosphere means is a zone of life on earth. It includes all living organisms, plants, animals, microorganisms, and the part of the earth, we can simply say it's a part of the earth where life exists. So in simple terms, biosphere is land, that is lithosphere, water, hydrosphere, air, atmosphere. So these all combined together for a biosphere. Sun is the only source of energy which enables continuous interaction among various life forms. So even though there are lots of stars in this atmosphere, the sun is the one that is providing us all energy. Sun is the only source of energy for us, right? Yeah, sun is the only source of energy which enables continuous interaction among various life forms. For a long period of time, there has been a symbiotic relationship between human being and nature. So we are having a mutual relationship between human beings and nature. So we protected the nature. We lived together with the nature. That's what. So for a long period of time, we were living in such a good relationship with the nature. So we were living with the nature. But due to excessive human interference, and unsustainable practices, so we started to interfere more and more into the nature. We start to cut down the trees. We start to emit, lots of carbon. So much of things we started to do. So we started to interfere too much into the nature, and we are also having so much unsustainable practices. And you need to understand, this is not being done by not everyone in this world. It's been, if you look upon, mostly the developed nations has create more and more such problems. So because of these practices, because of these unsustainable practices and all, millions of people's lives and livelihoods are at risk. Therefore, there has been a growing need to create awareness among all the stakeholders. So among all the stakeholders, we need to have an awareness. As I told you earlier, we need to make everyone aware, because so many people are not aware about what's going to happen. The one of the major reason is many of such problem, like some of the human organs within our human body, like liver, it doesn't create a problem immediately. Like even if it's getting damaged, it would continue to work for a long period of time, and it will just stay there, and somehow somehow it will keep on working until a time come when it's not able to do any more work, and then you are in danger. In the same manner, so we think, okay, we are destroying the nature, and we feel like, okay, we can just go on like that. And sometimes we are very selfish. We're not thinking about the other people. We think, okay, let me pollute the river. If I throw some garbage into the river, who is going to, it's not going to be me, or it's not going to be my children. Let somebody be affected. That's our attitude that need to be changed. We have to have a mindset where we should be thinking about other people also, and we have to be aware that it's going to be a problem to us. Keeping this in view, environmental study is being introduced as a compulsory course for all the learners at undergraduate level. So it's a compulsory course for all those who are in undergraduate level. This block consists of 3 units. So this block is consisting of 3 units. Unit 1 introduces concept of environment and environmental studies. So Unit 1 introduces the concept of environment and environmental studies. Unit 2 discusses about the concept of ecosystem, and Unit 3 describes about major ecosystems. Unit 1, our environment. This unit, being the first in the course, brings out the holistic meaning of the word environment. So this unit being the first in the course, it brings out the holistic meaning of the word environment. This unit will also focus on how we as living beings interact with the other living and non-living components of the ecosystem. For centuries, humans have considered the earth and the environment as an unlimited resource, but subtle and gradual changes have altered our environment in many different ways. So this is very, very important. For centuries, for centuries, we are living in the 20th century. So for centuries, humans have considered the earth and the environment as an unlimited resource. We thought, okay, let me go ahead and exploit. No matter how much I exploit, then also there won't be any problem. That's what we thought. But we understood that that's not the case. There going to be problem. For centuries, humans have considered the earth and the environment as what? As unlimited. We thought that it's going to be unlimited. How much we use, there is not going to be a problem. That's what we thought. So for centuries, we thought that it's going to be unlimited. Let me use as much as I can. There is not going to be a problem. It will, it's renewable at all the time. That's what we thought. The concept of sustainable development provides an alternative model. The concept of sustainable development provides an alternative model of development that could balance between environment and development. So we need development, right? But at the same time, we need to have a sustainable development. I told you about the petrol cars getting replaced with the motor cars, right? Yeah. So in the same manner, the concept of sustainable development provides an alternative model of development that could balance between environment and development. This unit will also discuss the multidisciplinary nature and scope of environmental studies. It's not only one discipline, it's a multidisciplinary thing. And also we'll discuss about the scope of environmental studies. Unit 2, ecosystems. This unit deals with the structure and properties of ecosystem. In the unit 2, we are going to discuss about the structure and properties of ecosystem. Basic concepts of ecosystem functioning and the factors controlling it. It also deals with the development of ecosystem. This unit will also familiarize you with interactions like competition, parasitism, mutualism that exist between living beings. This unit will also focus on how we as living beings interact with other living and non-living components of the ecosystem, and would also become aware that ecosystems are able to maintain homeostasis by active effort, resisting the tendencies toward disorder. In the Unit 3, major ecosystem. This unit discusses two broad categories, namely terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems and their types. Major terrestrial ecosystems include forests, grasslands and deserts, while lakes, rivers, oceans, estuaries, and wetlands are collectively known as aquatic ecosystems. Besides, you will study about the importance of the forests, grasslands, and aquatic ecosystems. We hope after studying this block, you will acquire an in-depth understanding of the physical components of the environment, the process related to them, and their interactions with the other components of the environment. These units would enable you to use your intelligence and skills to the best of your advantage for managing our environment and keeping it healthy for future generations. Our best wishes are with you in this endeavor. Endeavor means a serious or determined effort. You have to be very serious and you have to be determined. That takes us to our first unit, that is our environment. That takes us to our first unit, that is our environment. Okay, let's discuss further. Earth, okay, let's close it off. Earth is the only planet known for supporting life. Earth is the only planet known for supporting life. It's been repeating again and again. Despite the vastness of Earth, life exists only in a very narrow zone of the Earth called biosphere. So life exists only in a very narrow zone. If you travel few kilometers to the top of the Earth, I mean, if you travel above, I think it's around 20 kilometers or something. After that, there won't be any air. I have to check it. It may not be a 20 kilometer, but after some distance, there is no air for you to breathe. So it's up to a certain extent only where this life is existing. So despite the vastness of Earth, life exists only in a very narrow zone of the Earth called biosphere. Sun is the only source of energy which enables continuous interaction among various life forms. So sun is the only source of energy for us, right? And it enables continuous interaction among various life forms. Because of the sunlight, the plants can produce food. So if the sun is not there, we cannot exist in this world, right? So we need sun. Like sun is there to provide us heat, energy, and so much and so much. In this unit, being the first in the course, brings out the holistic meaning of the word. And holistic means a total meaning of the word environment. In broad terms, environment includes everything external to an organism that affects it, including physical as well as living factor. The action and interaction of the physical and living factors makes a system of relationship called ecosystem. So what is that? The action and interaction. The action and interaction of the physical and living factors makes what? Makes a system of relationship called ecosystem. So what is that? The action and interaction. The action and interaction of the physical and living factors makes a system of relationship called a ecosystem. This unit will also focus on how we as living being interact with other living and non-living components of the ecosystem. So we are not only connected with the living, we are also connected with the non-living things of the ecosystem. So we are going to see how we are connected with the living and non-living components of the ecosystem. The concept of sustainable development came into existence that explains symbiotic. The symbiotic means a close relationship between human beings and environment. For centuries, humans have considered the earth and the environment as virtually unlimited resources. So we thought to a certain period of time, we can continue to use this environment and there is not going to be a problem. But today we understood that's not the case. For centuries, we thought that we can use the environment. We can use in the sense we can just do whatever we want with the environment, or however we want to use it, we can use it, and it's going to be unlimited. But today we understood it's not unlimited, it's going to be limited, but subtle and gradual changes. Subtle means, it's not obvious. Obvious means it's not clear. So without our understanding, or it was happening without our knowledge. So we didn't really notice it. So like I told about a liver sickness or a kidney sickness, we didn't really notice. We just thought, okay, it's okay, and okay, we keep on eating the junk food day by day, and finally the liver is no more to help. And you understood, okay, it was a subtle, it was happening in a very minute manner. In the same manner, subtle and gradual changes have altered our environment in many different ways. Special mention has been made of human population within the changing scenario over the years. You know about India, right? We have a lot many people. So when somebody is born into this world, they need a lot of resource. And the population is increasing day by day all over the world. It's a problem. So, and especially countries like India, China, we have a lot of problems because the population is increasing day by day. Every day, so many children are being born, and so many resources are being utilized, and at the same time our medical field has advanced a lot, and which it's like we can say it's a blessing that people can live more, live longer. So the people are living, there are more and more people in this world, and which will cause, which will make people to utilize this environment a lot and lot in a bad manner. So what we have to do is, we have to understand that, okay, we have to be careful in using the environment. Special mention has been made of human population within the changing scenario over the years, particularly since the industrial revolution. Industrial revolution, you have to understand, since I have made a little bigger description. So industrial revolution, you would have studied about industrial revolution maybe in your 8th standard, maybe, or in 6th or 7th. A period of major industrial and technological development. So industrial revolution means a period of a major industrial and technological development when societies shifted from agriculture to machine-based manufacturing. So it began in the 18th century. 18th century means 1701 to 1800. So it began in the 18th century, mainly in United Kingdom. It mostly happened it mostly was there in the United Kingdom. It marked a shift from hand production to machine-based manufacturing. New inventions like the steam engine increased production efficiency. Industries such as textiles, iron, and coal expanded rapidly. It led to urbanization, economic growth, and major social change. Because of the Industrial Revolution, so much and so much happened in this world. Till then, people were doing so much and so much with their hands, but today machine come, and for machine, it doesn't matter. for a human being, we cannot do a thing again and again. Like if you just do a work for an hour, you will get tired. But at the same time, a machine can do the same thing for days, for years. You put a fan, and the fan can run for many days without any problem. But can you just can you just rotate like a fan for an hour? Within 10 minutes he will be tired. So with a machine, we can do so much thing. And because of the industrial revolution, it created so much and so much changes in the world. We hope that this unit will give you a better understanding of the environment and its various components. This unit would also enable you to use your intelligence and skills for managing our environment and keeping it healthy for future generations. So we have to use our intelligence, right? We have to use our intelligence, and also we have to use our skills. We have to use our skills today, as I already told you about the coming of these electric vehicles. We used our skills. We understood, okay, these carbon emissions are going to be problem for the environment. So we created something that would not create any carbon emission. The same manner, we have to use our skills. This unit will further explain the multidisciplinary nature and scope of environmental studies. What are the expected learning outcomes? After completing the study of this unit, you should be able to explain the importance of environment in our life and surrounding. You should be able to explain the importance of environment in our life and surrounding. You should be able to recognize the importance of the concept of sustainability and sustainable development, analyze the multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies, appreciate the importance and scope of environmental studies. Concept of environment. Each and every living organism has a specific surrounding or medium with which it continuously interacts. So every living organism, even human beings, like, can we go ahead and live in the moon? No, we cannot live in the moon, right? We won't be able to breathe there, or we won't be able to survive there. So every living organism has a specific surrounding. See, for a fish, it has to be in the water. You cannot keep a fish on your table, right? A fish has to be on the water. So every organism has a specific surrounding or a media with which it continuously interacts, derives its sustenance, and to which it is fully adapted. So we are adapted to live in the land. We are not adapted to live in the water, right? For some time we can be in the water, but we cannot be in the water for all the time, right? So we are adapted to live in the land. This surrounding is the natural environment. The word natural environment brings to mind broad aspects of landscape such as soil, water, desert, or mountains, which can be more exactly described in terms of physical or abiotic influences such as differences in moisture, temperature, texture of soil, and air quality. What is abiotic? Non-living components. Okay, let's look upon the definition. Thus, environment is defined as, it's very, very important, the sum total of living and non-living components. Okay, this one you have to got it in the exam. What is environment? The sum total of living and non-living components, influences and events surrounding an organism. The sum total of living and non-living components, influences and events surrounding an organism. Let us begin by asking, what is environment? Environment. Okay, there is a confusion on the statement. So I will first, I have written down something else. Environment is derived from the French word environ, means to surround or encircle, and the suffix ment means condition or result. Okay, so environment is derived from the French mean. Environ mean surround, to encircle, and ment means condition or result. Thus environment refers to the surroundings and conditions in which organisms live. So environment refers to the surroundings and conditions in which organisms live, including their interaction with nature. So environment is derived from the same thing only, from French word environ, which means to encircle or surround. Environment is the interaction between organism and nature. So environment is what? Is the interaction between organism and nature. For humans, there are several kinds of environments such as home environment, business environment, political environment, and so on. Like we have different environments, right? When we are in the home, it's a home environment. In the business circle, it's a business environment. In the political circle, it's a political environment, and so on. But we are going to discuss only about the natural environment. We are not going to discuss about the home environment or office environment and all such thing. We are going to discuss about the natural environment. But we are going to discuss only about the natural environment, air, water, land, plants, animals, and other organisms. Any individual in nature interacts with its environment. Any individual in nature interacts with its environment, influences it, and in turn is influenced by it. What is that? Any individual in nature interacts with its environment, influences it, and in turn is influenced by it. Thus, environment is the sum total of air, water, and land interrelationship among themselves and also with the human beings, plants, animals, and other organisms. The most significant attribute of the effect of environment of life and organism is the interaction of environmental elements. So what is the most significant attribute? The most significant attribute of the effect of environment on life of an organism is the interaction of environmental elements. These abiotic, non-living organs. These abiotic and biotic factors, non-living and living factors, are dynamic in nature and interact with each other in every moment of life. No organism can live alone without interacting with the other organisms. So no organism, even human beings or anything, nothing can live alone without interacting with other organisms. So each organism has other organisms as part of its environment. You must be aware that all animals are directly or indirectly dependent upon plants, basically the green plants, and manufacture their own food. So, plants manufacture their own food through the process called photosynthesis. So, plant manufacture or plant create their own food. But plants also depend on animals. Don't think that plants are not dependent upon animals. Plants are also depending upon animals. For what? For a few things such as pollination of flowers, dispersal of fruits and seeds. How they do that? Let's see. Plants depend on animals mainly for pollination and seed dispersal. What is pollination? Animals like bees, butterflies, birds, and bats transfer pollen from one flower to another while collecting nectar. This helps in fertilization and production of seeds and fruits. What about seed dispersal? Animals help spread seeds away from the parent plant. Seeds may stick to their bodies, be carried or pass through their digestive system after eating fruits. This reduces competition for space, light, and nutrients. It also helps plant grow in new areas wherever the animal go. Thus, animals play an important role in the reproduction and survival of plants. Let us try to understand the concept of environment with an example. So there is a figure. This is the first figure. You can see so much here, and you have it in your textbook. Can you identify the environment of a carp fish in the pond? Its environment consists of abiotic components such as light, temperature, and water, in which nutrients, oxygen, other gases, and organic matter are dissolved. The biotic environment consists of microscopic organisms called planktons. Planktons, what do you know? Planktons, tiny organisms that float or drift in water, unable to swim against current. Wherever the current takes, it will go that way. As well as aquatic plants and animals and decomposers. The plants are of different kinds, such as floating, submerged, and partly submerged plants, and trees growing around the edge of the pond. The animals consist of insects, worms, mollusks, tadpoles, frogs, birds, and various kinds of fishes. The decomposers are the saprotrophs like bacteria and fungi. So you can see all these things here. Till now, you might have realized that the environment is not static. The biotic and abiotic factors are in a flux and keep changing continuously. The organisms can tolerate changes in environment within a certain range called a range of tolerance. What is that? The organisms can tolerate changes in environment within a certain range called a range of tolerance. So that's enough for today. We will discuss the remaining by next class.